There's horror to explore behind every door. This is your spooky look at the Funko Pocket Pop. Beware 13 days spooky countdown. A very happy Halloween to everybody on this channel. Those who have regularly watched the spooky spots as an annual tradition, I say thank you. And while we wrap up another year of spooktacular reviews in a less than stellar Halloween for 2020, I figured we would round things off rather nicely, hopefully, with Beware 13 Days Spooky Countdown. And yes, this may not be the last of the spooky-related videos. There may still be a few things up my sleeve for this year. I figured this would be a good video to be checking out on Halloween, as we have a look at 13 individual doors revealing spooktacular Funko Pocket Pops behind each door. I'd like to send out a big thank you as well to the folks over at Zavvi who provided this sample that we're having a look at in this review. If you're in the market of picking this one up for yourself, as well as other spooky-related paraphernalia, you can certainly head on over to Zavvi's website and check out what they have. But we're going to be opening this up. Instead of doing this 13 days, which I suppose I could, instead what I decided to do is pack this all together as one spooktacular 13 door openings. Sort of sounded a little bit better when I was reading the script earlier. To have a look at the box before we open up the contents, on the front, of course, we have some of the Pocket Pops available. There's Beetlejuice, there's Jack Torrance, there's It, there's Freddy Krueger, there's Reagan, and then down below, there's Jason Voorhees. Now, these are all of miniature size. They're generally about that size or so. You're not going to get full-sized pops inside behind every door. Instead, you're going to get the pocket variety. Here's what it looks like on the side of the box. This is what it looks like on the back of the box. This is, again, to give you an idea of what it's going to be looking like. And all the various characters teased down below. There's Annabelle Comes Home, It, Little Shop of Horrors. Oh, I hope we get some cool stuff for Little Shop of Horrors. The Shining, The Nun, Beetlejuice, Exorcist, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, and The Lost Boys. You can't beat that at all. This just slides open like so, and sort of like the opener of Treehouse of Horror, which I don't think has posted yet. I think I heard that Treehouse of Horror Simpsons is going to be airing after Halloween. What's that all about? But sort of like the opener when they go through the cemetery. The gates do open up, and inside, as a Halloween-themed advent calendar, you can poke behind each one of the doors, revealing a spooky character behind each one of them. Ironically enough, the 13th door is the largest door, and I don't know if that's going to translate to a larger Funko Pop Pocket Pop. We'll have to know. We'll have to open it up to find out. Some nice, cool little decos that they put on both sides as well, with the tombstones. I like the addition of having the few hands grabbing out from the ground, and just up at the top corner there is a little balloon from It. I like that. So we're going to go ahead and open up each one of the squares, each one of the doors. I guess they're sort of more windows than anything else. If this obviously is a building, we're going to be poking through each window and checking out all 13 Pocket Pops that are inside. Starting first with window number 1. Hello? Is anybody in there? I guess to open this works the same way as an advent calendar. I'm just going to poke the bottom here. These little skeleton squares, you just poke into those, and then once those are popped open, I think you just open it up like that. Now, I don't know. It almost seems like seems like these are misaligned. Like it probably should be moved over a little bit. I don't know why it's slid over the way that it is. But let's do our best to pull it out. Work our best with a bad situation. Let's open up the first one. I can't see who it actually is. Can't quite make that out. It's someone with what seems to be a flower dress. Opening up the first bag. And we have one of the twins from Shining. Ironically enough, though, is that they're not really twins. They're sisters. One is older by, I think, 2 years. Here's what the twins look like. I wonder if we're actually going to get another one in there. I feel like it would probably be cheating a bit to get a second one of these. I'm actually even drawing the name, the last name. I'm drawing a blank to the last name. It'll come to me, I'm sure. It's one of the twins. You can see they've sort of airbrushed darker shadowing around the eyes to kind of make her look a little more dead. And she's got the blood splattered all over the bottom of her there. Come play with us, Danny, forever and ever and ever. Really nice. I don't think any of these have articulation to speak of. It's basically just a molded piece. But they're smaller enough that if you don't want a whole bunch of Funko Pops dominating your collection, then these are nice. Is it the Grady? No, it's not the Grady twins. I think is it Grady? It's going to come to me later, I'm sure. Nice detail, though, on that one. Opening up box number 2, or window number 2. Again, we'll just pop this in. It's the Grady. I think it's the Grady twins. And opening up the next one. Yeah, again, like, I feel this should all be shifted over a little bit. And I'm sure it's going to be the case when I'm going all the way down on all of them. I wonder if it was supposed to be flipped the other way around, but definitely does seem like, yeah, this should have been pushed over a little bit more than what it is. The next one we have, is it literally the other Grady twin? It is. Well, I mean, they are twins, or in this case, they're actually really sisters. I guess it does make sense if you're not going to get, if you get one of them, it would seem somewhat absent to not have the other one included as well. So you do get the Grady twins. I think it is Grady. Come play with us, Danny. I mean, to get a little Danny on his big wheel, I had a big wheel growing up, I think would have been fun as well. But yeah, I mean, I can't find fault in this. They sort of did cheat in the fact that they limited one extra square by giving us literally almost a duplicate. It does seem like the blood is in the same place. I don't think there's anything that's changed from one to the other. I'm gonna pass this one. I'm gonna let this one slide simply because you're supposed to get 2 of them anyways. I mean, there's 2 in the movie, not twins, they're sisters, but still, it's not terrible the fact that we did get 2 of those. Little pig, let me in. I'm sure it's not going to be a continuation of The Shining, but let's just see what the next. What's happening here? Where is the next square? Oh, okay, so apparently there's nothing behind door or window number 3. I guess we're just going to have to take our business elsewhere. Let's move on down to window number 4. See if anybody is actually behind this one. Well, at least we did get something this time around. Now, again, I'm just trying to think, where would the other, because it doesn't, there's not another one here I don't see. And there's not one here. It literally is like there's 2 at the top. This one lines up. And there's not 2 at the bottom. Oh, maybe they're, oh, you know what? I think this was flipped. I think the Grady twins are supposed to be down below. And that would make sense. This thing is literally upside down. Now, I could probably just open up the box and reveal the contents. But the downside, though, is if I open this up, I'm going to see exactly, well, maybe I may not see. You know what? We're going to run with what we got here. I would assume that if you were to pick this one up for yourself, it probably is the right way. I just happen to get the one that was flipped the other way. So in actual fact, if you were opening up door 13, which would then make sense, that you do get yourself 2 of the sisters, the Grady twins, down below in the 13th door. This is going to be rather interesting then to figure out how this is going to then lay out for the rest of it. I'm guessing if it's flipped this way, if these are the exact same width across, if this is flipped the other way around, then I think all the other squares are probably going to be in the exact same proper placement. It's going to be 13 that's going to be a bit of a mess because there's probably going to be like 3 on, there's going to be 1 on either side and then 1 in the middle. But I think all from 4 to 12 is going to be pretty close, still lined up. It is Halloween after all, so I suppose a trick could be made. The next treat, however, though, is Pennywise. A little tiny, sinister, smiling Pennywise with a little balloon in his hand. I do like the fact that this one has a little smile on his face. And, you know, again, for all the fault that I find with Funko Pops, wow, that was a whole lot of F's all combined there. I do admit, though, I mean, for a smaller version of these, something that I can just put on a mantle, they're not bad. They're not bad little collectibles. Advent calendars tend to have chocolates. Why not have, for Halloween, these little tiny pop miniatures? Again, the detailing on the face is pretty good. You got nice bright yellow eyes, big glaring at you eyes, and then he has yellow teeth that look like little kernels of corn. We'll put that down with the Grady twins, and we'll move our way over. Ironically enough, Pennywise, I think, has some difficulty standing. Just see if he can... Okay, we'll just lay him down. Let's open up window number 5. And everything, again, seems okay. This one is... Let's have a look here. Oh! It's the Nun Valak. Let's just open up her plastic prison. I hate to... I mean, I would have said, let's get her out of there so she doesn't suffocate. But you don't really... I guess... having her suffocating inside of a bag. I guess really, evil or not, you really don't want anybody suffocating inside of a bag. That's a big no-no. You can see Valak, very angry looking. Big teeth, claws, her hands. Looks like it's like almost like she's running towards you. Can you imagine that'd be the last thing you see for Halloween night? I'm so sorry. Didn't mean to give you guys nightmares for the rest of the night. I do like the little lines that they put in her face. Again, the dark airbrushing around the eyes is a nice touch. Very bright yellow eyes peering into the dark, deep reaches of your soul. Very, very nice looking little Funko Pop of her. Or him, depending on how you like to consider the character. I like this one. I like this one a lot. On to window number 6. Let's go ahead and push this in. Open that up. Again, everything seems okay so far. It's only really going to be when we get down to 13 that we're probably going to have one there, and one there. Because, right? It was flipped around the other way. Let's see if we can make out who is inside this orange bag. And it looks like it is the plant. Very nice. It is the plant from Little Shop of Horrors. I know it says feed me... What's the name of it? Audrey 2. Ah, yes. Sometimes my memory works, sometimes it doesn't. This one isn't your traditional Funko Pop because gone are the notable Funko eyes, the big little orbs of black. Instead, we're sort of just treated to a nice little miniature version of Audrey 2. You can see that Audrey has already eaten as there's blood all over the lips there. Big, large teeth. I do like the little vines sticking out from the bottom of the plant. That is a nice one. That might be my favorite from the batch. Put that one down. Moving on over to door number 7. Window 7. I always want to keep saying that these are doors. That's silly of me to say that. These are all windows. 7 and 13 are my favorite numbers. What are your favorite numbers? You can let me know down below in the comments section. We can have a little discussion about windows. Windows, numbers, and if you've picked up any one of these for yourself. The next one we have is a little tiny, there we go, just get her to focus there, Annabelle. The Annabelle eyes are very blank and lifeless, which I guess perfect for a character like her. You can see that she's sitting on the chair as well. This one is very unique in the fact that all the other Funko Pops, excluding Audrey 2, have all been in a standing position. And of course, Annabelle here, you would want to keep her contained, of course, inside of a cabinet. But at the very least, they at least gave her a chair, so you can have her sitting down. I do, again, like this one. It's odd that I'm saying this because, again, I'm not somebody that usually praises Funko Pops because you see so many of them everywhere. And yet again, I still find myself really liking these. Moving on over to window 8, dead center in the building there. I'm going to push through the skeleton bottom, opening that up, and let's see what we got inside. Just going to put that right down there. Now, if I can look through, it does look like, I think it's Beetlejuice wearing his bus driver outfit. Probably could have used a knife, I'm sure, for this. There it is. A little guide tour. It's not really a bus driver. Let me just correct myself that. It's the guide tour Beetlejuice. You can see his little guide hat on there. And again, like if you look at the comparison size-wise, it's about the size of my thumb. It's not really much of a comparison because your thumb probably will change differently from my thumb. But for my size comparisons, certainly for the sake of this video, I can show you my thumb. That's about the size of my thumb. I like, the green that they put to the side of the face. You've got all this sort of mold and moss, whatever that is that's growing all over his face is also here as well. I don't know if these are actually variants, not being somebody that collects enough of these. If you were to get larger versions of Beetlejuice, is there a guide version of Beetlejuice? That is a question I can't answer. Maybe these are variants. Maybe these are exclusives in the smaller variety. I don't really know. But I do like them. I think they're pretty interesting. Window number 9. Window number 9. Let's go ahead and push that open. Open this one up. And again, if you guys, even though this is technically Halloween, if you would still like to open these up every single day, let's just say after Halloween, you can head on over to Zabby's website and you can order this one right now. I'll provide the link down below in the video description. The next one is a personal favorite of mine. We have ourselves Jason Voorhees. Now, I did originally own this Jason Voorhees, so for my own memory and experience of owning this one, I don't think this one changes at all. It literally is just a taller version Funko Pop Jason that has been shrunk down to the smaller size that you guys are seeing right now. His machete is completely covered in blood. This is the Jason, Freddy vs. Jason. Not one of my personal favorites, but hey, what are you going to do? I think they also used this same one for a NES Jason, or actually the NES Jason was the 8-bit NES Jason, which I still have in my collection. I love that one. That's one of my favorite Funko Pops of the very, very small list that I still have in my collection. Got the gray head there, the more brown jacket. There's the mask with the chevrons on either side and the one in the middle. I like the little lazy eye. That's a nice little touch of detail on Funko's part. Let's move on over to window number 10. Pop that through. Oops, let's not pop it through all the way. You guys can also let me know down below a couple of things. Certainly when this video is all said and done and we're packing up shop for the night, let me know what your favorite Funko Pocket Pop was in this set release. And also if this is something you would like to see Funko do on a regular basis. Let's not give all the love, after all, to Christmas. There's love, of course, that could be shared around for Halloween. And I would certainly be thrilled for the idea of more companies doing, even like NECA. NECA has done those little capsule collectibles, but why not just do an advent calendar where you could put exclusive head sculpts? Imagine like exclusive Michael Myers head sculpts behind each one of the doors, or in this case, windows. The next one we have is Reagan from Exorcist. Let's just get the camera to focus. I think the camera wants to focus on the box behind it. We don't want that. We want the focus on Reagan here. As you can see, there's barf all over. Just all over the bottom of the dress there. You can see there's all the scratches and, is it lesions? Lesions on her face. The more puke-colored yellow eyes. Wait, you should get into marketing. Thank you. I always think that myself. And nice dark airbrushing that they put around her eyes as well. Again, a nice one. This one would have been also fun if, in a similar fashion to Annabelle, if they had given her a bed, just about this size. Didn't have to be very, very big at all. And then it just had the head sticking up from the back of the bed. I think that would have been fun too. There you go. There's Reagan from Exorcist. Compartment number 11, right dead middle again. They're all going to be roughly the same size to one another as well. And this one, I'm not sure what one this one actually is. I feel like it's Lost Boys. Oh, it is Lost Boys. Lost Boys. It is, trying to think of his name. It's not David. David, I think, is the guy that moves into town with his brother. What's the other guy's name? Drawing a blank. Kiefer Sutherland. Good actor. Just don't know. I can't remember the name of the character. Is it David? I don't think it's David. I think David's the other guy. Anyways, though, a nice looking little miniature version of him. Except the only thing he doesn't have is a little maggot Chinese food container. He has the blood all over his teeth. So he has eaten. He hasn't eaten maggots, I'm sure. He's probably eaten something else. I do like the red around his eyes. That's a nice touch also as well. I mean, for the fact that these are small pieces, I have to say, in credit to them, the paint on them is really, really good. especially like their jacket, the sleeves, and everything else. I mean, the little small details like that, normally of a piece this size wouldn't have been touched. But pretty interesting the fact that they would have done as much as they did to the detailing on the smaller, even like the jacket here of whatever this character's name is. Getting very close to the end of this. We're now into window 12. Let's open this up. And it looks like we've got ourselves another Pennywise. Let's just put this back down for a second. It does appear to be. Yeah, it does look like it's a little miniature Pennywise. Strange that we did get two Pennywise figures in here. One looks like... What has he actually got in his hand? It looks like he's got a little puppet in his hand. Let's see right there. For a second, I thought it was a hat. Maybe it is a hat. No. It's a little... What is that? It looks like it's almost a little squirrel head. Just to kind of give you a comparison, though. Doesn't look like they've changed much from one to the other. They've just put darker areas on the eyelids. So it kind of looks like his eyes are just a little more sinister. But the head sculpts look identical to one another. One is holding the balloon. One is holding, again, it kind of looks like a little squirrel or beaver head. What's that all about? Other than that, it looks like the bodies are pretty much the same. I'm noting that the collar is a little more ruffled on the one that came with the balloon than the regular release. Just spin these around so you can see the back of them. Hopefully the camera's focusing on these. Yeah, these are fun little collectibles. And last but certainly not least, I guess technically not last and certainly not least, it's going to be interesting how we open up door 13, because I feel like there's going to be ones on either side, right? Because if this... I think we're still... Obviously, we're going to still get 13, but I think there's going to be like 2 at the bottom, if that's right, because this was flipped. Actually, there may be 3 on the bottom. Let's open it up, see what we got. Yeah, and there's one on either side, so we're technically got 3 more to go. I'm going to have to figure out a clever way without ripping this completely open to get to the bottom end of it. I don't want to just like open the bottom and pull the entire tray out, because I feel like that's pulling a little away from the intrigue of it. Maybe I'll just rip the sides. I don't know. Anyways, let's open up the next one. To go along with Beetlejuice, we have ourselves Bride Lydia. Where was Beetlejuice? Right there. There he is. We have Lydia and we have Beetlejuice. Obviously, there was talks. There we go. Get the camera focused. There was talks, I think, of a Beetlejuice 2. I don't really think we need a Beetlejuice 2. Beetlejuice is fine on its own as a standalone movie. I don't feel like it really necessarily needs a sequel. I don't know if you guys would like to see a sequel of it. Let me know. But this is the bride version of Lydia. So you can see she's got the train on the back there. Is that a train? A little train on the back of her dress? It's all done in translucent or see-through plastic. Of course, she's got a red dress there. Really like the look of that one. That goes well with the Beetlejuice, although Beetlejuice, obviously, in his pinstripe suit would have made a little bit more sense. Very cool, though. All right, so let's figure out how we're going to do this. I don't want to go the route of ripping this. Maybe I can actually just peel this away enough to get my finger on one side, and then we'll have to do sort of the same similar thing on the other side. Of all things, it has to be on this. Has to be something I'm going to be opening up on camera to have that tray flipped the opposite way around. So what we would have actually gotten at the very bottom of this endeavor is that we would have got the Grady twins. They would have been at the bottom, but yeah, that didn't work out. Didn't work out that way. Well, speaking of the Grady twins, though, we did get ourselves Jack Torrance. All work and no play make Jack a dull boy. Certainly he's not dull. He finds things to occupy his time. I do like the little blood that they put on the top of his head. That's a nice touch. Really like that. Got, of course, his trademark axe, which already has blood on there. So he has been doing some hacking and slashing. They're all really the same size to one another as well. I mean, if you put it next to, say, the Grady twins, Jack is the exact same size as Grady twin 1, or Grady sister 1, and Grady sister 2. Jack might be my personal favorite from this. Certainly one of my personal favorites. I like the unease in the way that they've airbrushed his face. Those dark areas around the eyes. Really nice touch on that. And then, of course, we got to get down to the last of it. Again, it probably will involve me ripping this open. Oh, I just don't want to do that. In a way, I would like to have kept the box, but then I asked myself, what am I going to really do with this box? Don't want to be a hoarder and just kind of keep all the packaging because it's fun. Anyways, let's get our hand in there, pull out the last bag, and open this up and see what we got inside. And as I've been doing all this time, quickly looking inside, I sort of already know one of them was A Nightmare on Elm Street, and being the process of elimination that we've gone through every one of these, sort of gives us an idea of who we're going to be expecting to find inside. And of course, who we are going to be finding inside is a little tiny, there he is right there, little tiny Freddy Krueger. Paired nicely, of course, to the Jason Voorhees. I had at one point both of these in the larger scale, and just because I bought them on a whim, as an impulse buy, I then got rid of them after the fact. And I guess in a way, I probably could have just kept them in my collection. But these are like the OGs. These are the original Jason Voorhees and Freddy Krueger in a Funko Pop. You could award Freddy, technically, being a little bit taller than Jason, only because he's simply wearing his fedora on top of his head. Simple in color, simple in design, but I do like the fact at least they have the scarring on his face. That's what it looks like on the back. There we go, right there. I'm going to actually just move this over just because I feel the camera wants to compete. The packaging at least wants to compete with the figures that we're looking at here. There's Freddy Krueger. And again, like none of these have articulation to speak of. They're just molded pieces of plastic. The larger ones, of course, the larger varieties of Funko Pops would have head swivel, but that's not the case on these ones. Looking at the ones that we had gotten in all 13 windows, technically 12 if you count the large one at the bottom being containing 2 Funko Pops. A lot of good ones that we actually got inside. My personal favorites, I think, of the set, I would go with Audrey 2. I don't know where I would put this one. Maybe first place, second place. Actually, you know what? I probably would say second place. First place, I would award it to Jack Torrance. I may be a bit biased because, of course, The Shining is my all-time favorite horror movie, but I just like the look of that one. So I'm going to say Jack Torrance is number 1. Audrey 2 is number 2, ironically enough. And I think for the third one, I don't know, maybe the third one I might go with Annabelle. I just like the design of this one. Especially like the fact that the one eye is cracked. A nice touch on Funko's part. But there you go, guys. We did the unboxing to somewhat a successful end, as we had a look at all 13 days in the spooky countdown. Yes, of course, this probably could have worked a lot better if every single day I would have done one unboxing, one opening of a door. But the fact that I'm already doing 2 videos a day, giving us 10 videos a week, the idea of then shoehorning in there an unboxing of each one of these, I probably thought it just made a little more sense to do all of this in one video. Let me know down below in the comment section what your top 3 Funko Pocket Pops were in the 13-day spooky countdown. Again, a big thank you to the folks over at Zavvi who provided the sample that we had a look at in this review. If you guys would like to pick this one up for yourself, you can head on over to Zavvi's website by the link I'll provide down below in the video description. Today's spookerific review, wrapping up the end of Spottober, sadly, but don't worry, still spooky videos will be coming your way. Today we wrap things up with a look at the Funko Pocket Pop 13 Days Spooky Countdown. Ooh. Certainly hope you guys have a safe and happy Halloween, and let me know down below in the comments section. Either the day that you watch this, what you guys are going to be doing Halloween night, or the days after, what you guys ended up doing Halloween. Of course, with trick-or-treating sort of being a bit squashed this year, we're going to have to find other things to do. I'm going to find myself a movie to watch. I just don't really know what movie I'm going to watch for Halloween night. I want to have something special. Trick-or-treats probably won't be that something special. But let me know down below in the comments section. Certainly, if you are, guys, new to this channel and liking the content you're seeing, consider the idea of hitting that subscribe button down below, turning, of course, that bell notification on, and keeping those peepers ever peeled for new content that's coming to this channel. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys. And happy Halloween, by the way. I'll see you guys next time.